Hi, smells Red Songbird. Eve, the mother of Earth, coming back to you from the last video I made about the snake smothering Eve in the Garden of Eden. It cut off when it said, I was Satan. I said, oh my God, what a way for it to end. So you said, what do you mean you were Satan? What I meant was, you become that which you love. Love is becoming another person. I loved Stevie Wonder when I was young, a kid, a teenager. So I became him. But, not as a singer, the energy, which blinded me. I became blind. And, of course, I made decisions for my life that a blind person would make. They were lacking information, because when you're blind, you have so little, you have no light. The truth is a light, so you have no truth, What he does, I explained in the last video, as a snake in the garden seeking revenge against Eve because she rejected him, really. What else could she do? She couldn't have sex with a snake. Even though she was amour, she was love, and she loved the snake. She loved everybody. That's what she did. That was her nature. They didn't know that. Adam didn't know that when he created her. No one knew that. Like Dr. Mike Murdoch from the Wisdom Center says, no one's ever seen anyone like you. There's never been anyone like you. That's why no one understands you. He said that 3 years ago. Now I know what he was talking about. He was talking about Eve's predicament. So here I am on YouTube explaining myself. And the people who say never apologize, never explain, can go to hell, because I'm in heaven. I explain. Okay, so that being said, to explain how I was Satan and blinded. Okay, so then the question becomes, are you still Satan? No, of course not. Because I gave my soul, thinking of Disney Ernie Forza's St. Peter doesn't call me because I can't come. I sold my soul to the company store. Well, I surrendered my soul to my husband, Jesus Christ. But he was in the form of Charan Singh. That's the form he's in now, naturally. He didn't have the same form now that he had in the first century. Okay, but this form he's abandoned as well. He said it wasn't fit for Sava. I don't know what he was talking about with that. And now he's in my womb developing, waiting to be born again. And his father is his son. I'll put the son here. That was his father. I stood out there on the corner of 8th Avenue and 17th Street and communed with the sun in the sky. And then when I came back inside and talked to the God inside me, he said, now you are pregnant again with the twins again, because the last time I was pregnant with twins from the sun, I didn't believe it. How is this possible? I tried to believe it. I tried to believe I believed it, but I just couldn't make myself believe, even though I saw that stick he was pumping toward me. I didn't know he was fucking me. Who knew that could happen? I didn't. So anyway, the babies changed their mind I had the doubt, and I miscarried. And I saw all that blood. That's when I realized, oh my God, Babaji was right. I was pregnant with twins by the sun. And then I said, can I get pregnant with twins by the sun again? This time I'll take care to be positive and keep the faith, as Adam Clayton Powell used to say, the congressman from Harlem. So he said yes. So now I'm keeping the faith. I'm drinking lots of milk. I'm taking vitamins. I'm taking calcium with vitamin D. I'm talking to my babies. Even though a strange thing happened. Adam is married to Evita. That's Adam. He's white this life. The other times he was black. And so his wife this time was pregnant, and she said to him, come sing a song to the baby. So he went over there and sang a song to the baby. And then she laughed at him and she said, you're stupid. The baby can't hear you. Well, of course, that's not true. The baby can hear you. Oh, because of the vibration. They experience what the mother's going through. That's why it's really good if the mother can stay calm and happy and positive, because the children feel more comfortable inside her. Okay, so did I make it clear? I gave my soul accounting to Charan Singh. This is Abraham, my husband. Here's Charan Singh, going to be my child. Was my husband before. Had me come to Dara when they killed me. The snake and Edwin Birdsong killed me. He had me come to Dara and brought me back to life. Not literally, metaphorically. Of course, he could bring you back to life if you just really go ahead and leave your body. He can help you come back, but that wasn't necessary. I had children, so I didn't really leave my body and die that way. My spirit just crumpled. So he took charge of my soul, and I fell in love with him again, and therefore I became him. So I'm Jesus. I hadn't thought of it that way. Yeah, okay. Now Adam sings a song, after all, and it's a song about, we're together again, and I think he's anticipating my healing. We're together again. He says, I can fall in love with you again. And then he says, and you can fall in love with me again. Look at the light. I love the light. It's just, it's there. Okay, so that reminded me of that. Let me move on. You know what happens? These videos stop on me. The camera stops recording. This is Tommy Robinson. He was Abraham, the father of religion, and they put him in jail in Britain. This is so crazy because he's trying to save Britain from the dinosaurs that have invaded Britain, who are now called Muslims. And of course, my brother is a Muslim. His picture's over there on the wall. And he is a good Muslim. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He wants to help everybody. So they're not all angry dinosaurs stomping around on people. But there are many, 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 many in London who are trying to take over and force everybody to be Muslims. Okay, so let's see where I go from here. Now I told you. Oh, so what I want you to do is to wire or call or something Queen Elizabeth and tell her to make them release Abraham, Tommy Robinson, because he's done nothing wrong. What is wrong about trying to save a country, a good country? England's fine. I was once Elizabeth I. So I have a thing in my, like Baba just says, I have history with England. And my daughter, Robin, was Queen Victoria, the Queen of England. So she has history with England. She's a great-great-great-grandmother of Elizabeth II, who is now Queen of England. So we care about England. And Tommy was my husband, Abraham. So I care about him. So please tell the Queen to get her people in Parliament or wherever, or local jails, to get them out of jail, because the Muslims are going to kill them if if they keep him in jail. It's wrong. She was Ruth in the Bible. That's why I have Ruth here. That's who she was. Ruth was a very good woman, a very loyal woman. And her husband was Sir Lancelot. Prince Philip was Sir Lancelot. This baby, that's amazing. Prince Louis was Mother Teresa. Now she's going to be rewarded as royalty. Isn't that such justice? Don't you just love it? Yes. See, the world is just. People don't know it because they don't know everybody's background. I've been getting, at this level, information about who people were. Some people were in their past lives. I'm looking around to see what I should talk about next. So, in the last video, I was talking about Satan, the snake, and Adam chasing Eve all over creation for the last millions of billions of years. Time man made up, so I don't even know how long. Killing her, hurting her. And I was Freud. Eve was Freud, and I created. And there was also Fritz Perls, who was a German psychiatrist, and it was also Jordan Peterson's wife when he was Dr. Carl Jung, who was also a psychologist, a psychiatrist. So I have a background in psychology, and I was able to create Talk and Share, a therapy, this life, because everybody knows the world is crazy. A psychiatrist here said that to me less than a month ago, this crazy world. I said, oh, you know the world is crazy too? So I have, with the help of Jesus Christ, who was with me every step of the way, who was my husband, soon to be my son, created by the Son. Whoa. Okay, so you see all these connections. That's what takes so long. There's so many, everything's so connected. We're all so connected, All right, connected. And then I was going to talk about, so while the snake was chasing me, killing me and everything, stopping all my success, getting in my head, stealing my ideas, making money from them, and just doing all that, Adam stopped chasing me because his thirst for revenge was quenched. Then he decided he wanted to get back with his other half, the feminine, Eve. So he started helping me heal. He sang to me, love, and we would have sex because his songs were so heartfelt and so passionate. They moved my body, and I said, oh my God, he's making love to me. I was listening to this song, Good Night, My Love, when he was Jesse Belvin. I must have listened to that song 10 times today. And each time my body moves to his tones and to the beat. And I said, oh my God, he's making love to me. So that's what he's done with all those songs. When it was Sam Cooke, when it was Michael Bublé, when it was Ray Charles. I went to see Ray Charles when I was 15 years old, having no idea it was Adam, having no idea I was Eve, And he said, what I say, Tell me what I say. So I'm telling Ray Charles as Michael Bublé what he's saying to me in those songs, okay? He asked me to do it. Michael Bublé told me, create a sensation, so he could pinpoint me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being totally blunt and honest, which Govinda Singh told me that. Just tell the truth, he says. Say anything you want as long as it's true. Now that's God's orders. And so is Adam God, right? Created in God's image, God. Okay, so I'll tell you about Mother Teresa. Let me just look through some of these pictures with you. This is Dr. Albert Schweitzer. I'm sure you've heard of him. I don't know that you heard of him. He was a man who gave up everything to go to Africa to help the Africans. He was a musician. He was a theologian. He was all these things, a doctor. And he just gave up his successful life and went to Africa. I heard about him when I was a child, and I was utterly astounded that somebody would do that. I mean, I was in awe. So when I found out I had been Albert Schweitzer, I said, what? And then Charan Singh said, you have to fall in love with yourself. So I was in love with Dr. Schweitzer, who is myself. So I was doing what he said. Isn't that beautiful? I'm telling you, the saints are so advanced. They have this creation under control. They have that's why they call it the path of the masters. The path that I'm on, they call it the path of the masters. Because they've mastered creation. They understand. They've been all the way back. And they saw everything significant that happened. My daughter Robin is on the same path. She was St. Francis of Assisi. I said she was Queen Victoria. She was also Galileo. She was Michelangelo. So the thing about Galileo that hung her up was she told the truth. And they put her in jail. They abused her for telling the truth. They, what's that word, degraded her, humiliated her, because she told the truth. So that's still in her. So when I'm telling her, well, you were queen, but don't tell me that. She said, I don't want to hear that. It creeps me out. She does not want to hear it because the last time she had these fantastic, became aware of these fantastic truths, because what she was telling the truth about when she was Galileo was that the world was round. That was shocking to people, and they couldn't take the truth. So now she doesn't want to hear shocking truths, you know. So what can I do? I'm telling you, you know, it's the truth. I have to tell her. I can't tell her. She gets upset. Okay, so Dr. Schweitzer was me, a person I had fell in love with myself. Narcissus, is that his name, Narcissus? The guy, the Greek myth guy, that looked into the water and saw a reflection of himself and fell in love with it. Now that's neurotic. Not only neurotic, it's psycho. What do they call it? Psycho. It's psycho. Okay. You can fall. This Dr. Schweitzer that I fell in love with was a real person, and that really was him. It's not a reflection of my face in the water, you know. Unless you want to think that we're water. No, I'm not going there. I said the truth already. Okay, so Dr. Schweitzer built a hospital. It's still there in Africa. I don't think it's doing so great, but it's still there. And that's him doctoring that guy. Is that a guy? It is a guy. Yeah. And that's him holding a baby. Maybe that's why I love baby so much, because I'm a mother, I'm a feminine, I'm a woman. These are people, I guess, in the hospital. See, I don't really remember this part. You know, you don't really remember your whole life. You just have grooves and impressions and feelings and things like that. And you know, and what's that word? Intuition. Now, Charan Singh said to me, intuition is the voice of God. So always trust your intuition. It's the voice of God. I'm going to show you some pictures. It said Robin Birdsong spends her days going to the library to write, going to museums. She was Michelangelo. She was Dr. Seuss. She was Voltaire, who wrote Candide, which I loved, read it in college. I loved it. And she wrote the rhymes for the children's book. Oh, this is our book, yeah. Sneezy the Greasy Babysits Abigail. You know, by Michelle Birdsong, now Mal, Red Songbird, T.J. Robinson. Yeah, that's true. She does. That's Voltaire. This is Galileo that hung her up. She got hung up about. I could do that with Talk and Share. With Talk and Share, which we've been doing, Robin and I. If it wasn't for Robin, it wouldn't have developed. We've been doing it for 25 years to get it perfected. I could do Talk, but she'll only go so far. I could do her feelings and decisions and reactions when she was Galileo, and get that out of her. But she doesn't even want to acknowledge that she had past lives. And this is who is St. Francis of Assisi. She was that too. Okay. This is Michelangelo. These are some of his works. Isn't that amazing? How you take a rock and make things look like that? Wow. That's incredible. And let me tell you something, another connection. She did the sculpture David. It's one of her Michelangelo's Robin's most famous. There's a David here. He is the David that Michelangelo sculpted. And he's also Zig Ziglar. He doesn't say he's not. He came up to me one day and said, "Are you rich and famous?" I said, "No, Dave, I'm not rich and famous." Then one day he says, "You're banging." I said, "What do you mean banging?" And then he said, "Sexy." And then I thought to myself, oh, he wants to bang me. They used to say that in the street. Somebody want to be intimate with you. They call it banging you. Okay, this is Edwin Birdsong, who was pals with the snake. And this is a book, Sneezy the Greasy Babies. It's available at Amazon.com for $7.32. This is Dr. Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. He was my husband in a past life when he was Dr. Carl Jung. I bought his book. This book is Equilibrium for Love. This is a blueprint for heaven. What they did, the saints, they created a haven for Ruth. Not Ruth, that was Queen Elizabeth. For Eve. And it's a spiritual colony in the land of spirituality, India. And they made it perfect. Then when Eve went there, she recognized it, and she said, "This is heaven." She knew, she just knew it. And sure enough, the saints had created heaven and earth. So now, they said, America's going to be like India, and India's going to be like America. So what does that mean? And also they said, "Oh, Master, we want a master in America. We want our own master in America." So now he has, you got to have a heaven to have a God in it. He won't fit. So Sing Birdsong, who was one of the masters at the Dara, Jagat Singh, Sardar Bardur Jagat Singh, is going to be the spiritual leader of America. Govinda Singh, who is the current, is my son Cain, I talked about in a past video, is the current, this Jagat Singh over there with the long white beard. And beside him is Govinda Singh, the present master. He's going to be the spiritual leader of the world. That's how qualified he is. He was the Buddha. He became Jesus Christ. I saw Charan Singh before him. I saw him just ease down into Govinda Singh. I don't know if I was doing remote viewing. I don't know if they gave me a peek at the astral plane. I don't know where I saw it, though. It was not, I know a hallucination, I know imagination, and I know reality. And that happened for real. So now that he did that, because he was Jesus Christ form, Govinda Singh is now Jesus Christ form. See how it works? That's how Jesus Christ said, "I and the Father are one." Because that is love. You love, you become another person. Jesus Christ loved Govinda Singh, was his nephew. And so he got into, so then he became, and Jesus Christ and Govinda Singh loved his uncle. his uncle, Jesus Christ, was his master. So Govinda Singh became his master. See how that works? It's all very spiritual, you know. He's a spiritual teacher. That's how he identifies himself, modestly, you know. This is the founder of the dairy, my grandson now, Seth Ranziger. He was Mr. Rogers. That's why we got these balls all over him. He's got balls. Sit out there meditating for 17 years. And you know what he did? The ghouls and the ghosts and the demons and all those evil spirits that were there at the dairy that the neighbor were afraid of, he sat and meditated and embraced them and loved them and took that into himself to get rid of them. To purify the place. And then I guess he burned it off in meditation, because you can do that. You can burn off bad karma by meditating. You don't have to go through it. So I guess that's what he did. I don't know. This is JFK. His name today is called Kyle Kashuv. He's shaking hands here with Vice-President Mike Pence, a very advanced soul. When he got elected, he said, "Who am I? And where is my people?" That is my question. And I am Eve, I am Dr. Schweitzer, I am Dr. Einstein, I am Rand, Evangeline Adams, the astrologer. I'm finding out who I am. He asked my question. Isn't that high? Isn't that, what is that, supernatural, telepathic? I don't know what that is, but he nailed me. He said exactly what I'm into. And I have found all these people I've been, and I loved every one of them. I have not found anybody that I was that I didn't like, that I don't like, Okay, so that's JFK. That was Kyle Kashuv. Now he's Kyle. I saw him on Louder with Crowder. He was my husband, Crowder. And I love his show. He's a comedian. He's wonderful. And his movements are so sexy. Anyway, I saw him. And he was so intelligent and calm and logical. I loved him as much as I loved JFK, And I loved his wife, Jackie O. I know she changed after he died and sold herself to that Greek Aristotle analysis. But he was all right. He was a shipbuilder. I haven't seen against him either. Be bold. Be you. I'll put this here because Robin, I want her to come on out and admit that she's Queen Victoria so she can help England. England needs all the help it can get. This was my husband, Mark Stein. I love him. He's already been up here in spirit making love to me. I love this place. Father Tom, who was my husband, he was also Thomas Aquinas. He was also, who else was Father Tom? He was the Apostle, St. James the Greater, Jesus Christ Apostle. So, he set up this place, and he has a lot of people who have made major accomplishments to the culture here because they weren't rewarded, so they have nothing. It's as if they did nothing. But he's taking care of them. He's giving them cheap rent, cheap food, all kinds of amenities. And, okay, so what was my point about Father Tom? Oh, but the thing that bothered me about being here, like I said before, I am amour. I need love. I was very lonely. And so I was going to leave and go to San Francisco. But the program director, Chris, who was Jesus' disciple, St. Bartholomew, talked me out of it, because my husband, who was a Nazi, but he was also a saint, someone saying, wasn't that eager for me to come there. We've been married over 35 years, and he just didn't trust. He lived in one room in a hotel. He didn't think we had enough room. And Robin had said to me, I don't know if this is going to work emotionally, you know. So I didn't feel right about it. And I talked to Chris, and so I didn't go. And then Chris let me know that he was worried that if I go, I'll be homeless again, you know, because the relationship won't work with the husband, and I'll be out on the street again. So it was just so much negative talk about it. I decided against going. So, but like I said, I had been lonely, and I expressed my loneliness. So Chris, Spirit, and so one day, Chris, I was in line to get money. You have line, they manage your money so you don't run out of money. And I was in line to get money. Well, before I go, did I say that Mark Stein and I had a very close relationship, and he came up and made love to me? Look how sexy he looks. He knows I'm looking at him, and he's looking sexy. Yeah. So, that was a great marriage. It was a great marriage. See, I'm still having relationships with my husbands. These don't end, I mean, unless you divorce them. I divorced Edwin Birdsong, so we don't have a relationship. But, like, Chris was my husband. And when I told him I was lonely, he looked me in the eyes one day, and I thought my eyes were going to pop out of my head. It was such a strong eye contact feeling, eye sex. And so I said, did we just make a date? And a few minutes later, he comes up to my room in spirit. He doesn't even know it himself, I'm sure. I don't think he knows. I don't think they know what they're doing. When they do, I don't think they know what their spirit is doing. So he comes up and makes love to me. So you see, that's the way God is. You know, every time I say I want something, he makes sure somebody gives it to me. That's the same God I'm talking about, who also made love to me one day. We got married on a spiritual plane. And he made love to me for 11 hours. Twice. So, you know, because he wants to keep me happy, because the world needs a mother. That's what Charan Singh said. No child should have to live without its mother. So the saints are trying to give the world its mother. They had its father, Adam. But they didn't really know who Adam was. So they give them the mother's telling the world about their father. So, you know, the saints are putting like Mike Pence said, you know, we're finding our family. Okay, I'm finding that the saints at the Dara are still in my life. Like my granddaughter was this saint, Jamal Singh. See, my granddaughter, Jindara Ransinger, that was Dr. Martin Luther King, who was I loved him because he helped me. I lived in the South under the Jim Crow laws, and he helped to equalize things. I know a lot of people are against the civil rights movement.